Same old story, same old Chelsea, and nothing changes. Even in my humble opinion, I thought that when we beat Bournemouth, we are going to go in a much better stride. We are going to do much better. But that has not been the case. And that is the way we have been going on for a long, long time. I'm absolutely disappointed. I'm absolutely angry. But that things cannot change. And I have to give my humble opinion in that as well. Last week, when we won that game, I was very, very confident of getting the victory against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are not at the level of the team you must be dropping points against. No disrespect here intended, but they are not that type of team that you should be dropping points away. But that is the way the Chelsea have gone. That is the way we have gone, and that is again the same old Chelsea we have seen for a long time. I thought we built a much needed momentum against Bournemouth. We got a victory after the break, and Shrey, do you still trust Potter now? See, for me, Pudin the thing is that we have to trust him first of all because the owners have backed him fully now. Like owners are fully trusting him. They've given him a 60 million contract for 5 years, so they are fully trusting him. And for me, at the moment, it will be very difficult to say Graham Potter out after just like 2 months in charge, 3 months in charge. I think he needs to get his own players, and then I can really judge him. Football Extreme in the chat, big up to you, brother, as well, and thank you so much to support the channel. Zakaria over Jorginho. I think Jorginho and Zakaria. I think we need N'Golo Kante back and we need a midfield reinforcement. But Kante will be back by March. That is a very, very big problem, and we have big problems in the midfield. That display was a massive problem the way we played in the game, and that really translated the way we are playing this season. We go one step ahead and then we go 2 steps back. We got a much needed victory against Bournemouth after the break. We all thought the positivity was there, the performance was there, but all alas, with a pathetic performance here, the manager's changes, and the manager was again very calm, soothing, and nothing on the touchline. And that concerns me. Sometimes you need a manager that can really give his instruction on the touchline. Mikel Arteta is also very active on the touchline, but again, Graham Potter was subdued, as he always been, and that is my biggest concern as well. And very bad performance, fully agreed here. And big up Shrey, big up to Football Extreme as well. Thank you so much for support. And what happened to Kasadai, the young player we signed this summer? For me, he's in the academy. I think he's developing Pudin by. I don't think he will be involved right now. Chukwuemeka has already been brought in, but I hope he comes in the future. But I don't know why Chelsea are really not going after a right wing back backup, because Aspiculator today, like I literally have no words. Cesar Aspiculator was an absolute disaster today. An absolute disaster today he was. And coming on to Graham Potter, for me, Graham Potter must get strict. He cannot be this nice guy anymore at Chelsea. He needs to be a tough guy like Eric Ten Hag is at Manchester United, or he's gonna fail here. He's right now too nice. The lads gave everything. The boys gave everything. It was a great performance. That won't work at Chelsea. That won't cut at Chelsea. The mentality has to be to try to win. Mikel Arteta came here. He threw Socrates out. He threw Kolasinac out. He threw Aubameyang out. There was an anger in Mikel Arteta that he will not let anyone overrule him. Until and unless this nice guy Graham Potter continues, he is not going to work at Chelsea. He needs to come out of his slave. He needs to come out of his small cave and understand that this is Chelsea, not Brighton. He needs to get strict. He needs to get strict, come out of his cave of Brighton, where finishing 10th, 9th, 11th was a success, and come to a cave of a lion at Chelsea that wants to win titles, and then only is going to work for him. And we need change characters more of a player sometimes. I think Pudin Bhai has been very clear. These guys give up whenever they are behind. They are only made for cup competitions. When it comes to Bournemouth, Nottingham, Southampton, Leeds, these players go on a holiday. When it comes to Real Madrid, when it comes to PSGs, your Barca's, they really wake up, and there's some mentality in the dressing room right now that we wait for the big games and we do not perform consistently. And yeah, I agree with you. SP needs to leave, and I think extending his contract was an absolute disaster for me. Mikel Arteta was something else. He's hyper active, but look at Potter. Even after mistake, he was silent in the dugout, and that concerns me, Pudin Bhai. That is very, very concerning. This nice guy act is only going to go too long. He's very, very nice, and I respect him for that. But these players will only take advantage of that. They've got so many managers sacked. These players need someone that's going to have some words with them. When Todd Bowley has told you that I'm going to back you, I won't sack you, why does Graham Potter keep persisting with Cesar Azpilicueta, keeps playing these players? Play Hutchinson, play Lewis Hall, play the players you want to bring up in the Chelsea team next season. If this season we aren't finishing top 4, use it to build a base for next season, because we aren't as big club as Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool are. Not finishing in the Champions League is going to be a disaster. And if Todd Bowley really thinks that Champions League finishing out of it won't be a disaster, then he's in a big trouble as well. Because Chelsea struggle a lot without Champions League football, and we won't have that attraction anymore in the transfer market as well. And Nuno Aspie is caught player. Imagine we don't have Aspie. Who would have played in right back? I think I'm not saying not keep him, but my opinion put in by here is that his contract should not have been of 2 years. And I still believe that even as a backup put in by, he's a very good player in the back three, but he cannot play in a right wing back role or a right back role. He has lost that legs, and today put in by, he had a big role in that goal. He should have been aware of Aurier, and attackingly, there were two good chances for him to cross the ball into the box. In the end, at around 75th minute, Aubameyang, Havertz, everyone was free in the box, and Aspilicueta hit the first man. That is absolutely a big problem for us. And Chelsea's threat come through the right side, and today Aspi did not provide any threat, which made it more easier for Nottingham Forest, and that is becoming a massive, massive concern. We need to sign a DM, backup, right back, and a striker. I think we need a lot of players. We need two midfielders at least, and I think Enzo Fernandez will be one of them, and the other one could be from the academy, could be Kasedai. We also need a right back backup, and not just a backup, a very good player that can compete with Reece James. And I think in the striking department, we need a player, no doubt about that. But with Christopher Nkunku coming in, Rafael Leao being linked, I think that could solve a lot of problems. But my only concern is Graham the right man? I do want to trust him. I do think he's the right man. But this nice guy, this good in the touchline, the lads gave everything. If he says this today, I'm losing it. If he says today, the lads gave everything, I'm losing it, Graham. I'm losing it. Do not need to back these players. Just come in the press conference and say we did not play well and we'll come back in the next match. That's it. But if he comes with the lads gave everything, fantastic performance, they tried their best, I'm going to lose it badly with Graham Potter today. And Jorginho must leave. Also, Ziyech is doing good. We can get a good price. I think we can get a good price, but I think he can do a bit of work for us, especially with the way other attackers are playing. Mason Mount, again today, anonymous after a very good performance. Kai Havertz, again anonymous after a good performance. Raheem Sterling did not offer anything. Christian Pulisic had no understanding with Cucurella. And at the moment, the way attackers are playing, rather play Hakim Ziyech to create something than play the other players we've got right now. Potter did a mistake by taking Zakaria off over Jorginho. Look at not players, they're fast and physical. I think put in by his substitutions were horrific today. Like they came so late. Hakim Ziyech should have came around 60, 65th minute, and Conor Gallagher at the wing back role was an absolute disaster. Conor Gallagher's substitute appearance today was an absolute disaster. Did not offer anything. He lost the ball so many times, and Conor Gallagher at the right side is an absolute disaster. He's more like a number 8, a midfielder, and playing at wings is an absolute disaster for Conor Gallagher. Going on to the next discussion, and that is one step ahead, two steps behind. That is the story of Chelsea. We got a good victory against Bournemouth last week. We all thought we are taking good steps towards top 4. The team is building up. The break has come at the right time for us. And again, when the situation came of players showing their mentality, they again give up and they don't show their mentality. And Chelsea is back to square one. And that is right now having one of the worst seasons in terms of mentality, desire, identity that I think Chelsea have seen in a long, long time. We always take one step ahead, but then we take two steps behind. And with Manchester City on Stamford Bridge this Thursday or Wednesday, I think we are going to get battered the way we are playing. The mentality of these guys need to improve, or we are getting an angry Haaland, angry Mahrez, angry Foden that day, and they're going to absolutely cook us apart in that game for me. And these players right now, they look mentally drained. They look not really interested in Chelsea, and that is becoming a massive, massive concern for me. Like at the moment, it feels like these players don't care. The manager is looking towards the summer. The owner is not caring for the season. He is looking towards the next season. And this season right now looks an absolute write-off, to be honest, the way the mentality is in the dressing room. And that is massive, massive concern for me. Coming on to Koulibaly, and Koulibaly was again very, very disappointed. He was absolutely taken apart by Abioni, and he had an awful, awful game today. So many times Koulibaly was dispossessed. So many times he could have done better, but again, he always was one step late. His passing was good, I'll give him that. But other than that, Koulibaly, I was so excited by his signing. He's such a class defender. He had a good time at Napoli. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. But Koulibaly is better than this. He's a very, very good defender. But at Chelsea so far, he has been a walking disaster, an absolute disaster right now. And Chaloba must come back against Manchester City. Koulibaly has been very poor so far. It's sad. I really like him. He's a very, very good guy. He's talented as well, and he came on. He had a very good prime 4 years back at Napoli. Now he's a bit old, but he's still a class player. But again, today he was absolutely horrific, and again was very, very disappointing. Making rash passes, making rash decisions, getting easily gone past by Evioni. If you cannot handle Evioni, you won't be able to handle Erling Haaland. And it's better Chaloba comes back in the next game. That is the only way I think Chelsea can really deal with Manchester City as well. And Koulibaly should leave in the summer. I think he's a bit old as well, and I will agree he's not performing well, but I will give him one season. I do want to give players some chances. I think we cannot judge him straight right now. He's still a good player, and I think for me, Football Extreme, he could be very useful to us next season from a sub role, bench role from his experience. So I think I will want to keep Koulibaly. I don't want to be that angry, but right now, Koulibaly has been very disappointing for Chelsea, in all honesty. Watching Chelsea is depressing after last match. I thought we are cooking, but it's really sad and affecting my head. Same with me, Pudin Bhai, but I think we have to accept that Chelsea are not the Chelsea we are. It's going to take us time, and we are building a new young process. But the only thing, Pudin Bhai, that hurts me is Chelsea players are not putting enough passion on the pitch, and there's not enough desire on the pitch. That is the only thing for me, Pudin Bhai, that concerns me. I can take losses, I can take draws, but what I cannot accept is a lack of desire by this player so far. It's been absolutely disappointing in that regards. Hard luck, big up to Ayush Bhai as well. Hard luck, bro, for Chelsea. I won't say hard luck. I will say it's for Nottingham Forest, because Nottingham Forest would have clinched the game today. They were the better side in the second half. Morgan Gibbs had hit the bar. Evioni really came in between the shots of Yates, which could have gone in the goal. So for me, they were the better side in the second half, and they wanted it more. And what's the top six so far with ranking? For me, at the moment, it looks very difficult for us to get into. I do believe that Manchester United, Tottenham, Newcastle, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool will be there as well. So I cannot see us finishing top six the way we are going. Enzo Fernandez can come in January, and we might get Juranovic, which might change things. But right now, Newcastle are defensively the best side in the league. 9 clean sheets for them. Arsenal are unstoppable. Manchester City are the best side in the world. Liverpool are capable of going on a 10-match winning run. Manchester United are looking a very good side as well. And Tottenham are bad, but Tottenham are still better than Chelsea. So at the moment, top six for us looks very difficult, I use by. And Chelsea are absolutely shite. I do agree right now. We are absolutely bad right now. We are really playing bad right now. It's very, very tough to watch right now. And Sterling disappointing again. Sterling, since his move here at Chelsea for around 48 million, he has again been very, very disappointing today. I thought when Raheem Sterling scored today, he will get that confidence, he will get that belief in him. But Raheem Sterling again disappointed the whole game. Whenever he had the ball, he lost it. He took the ball, he ran with it, he lost it. The guy needs to remember he is at Chelsea Football Club and not Manchester City. He does not have Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva covering him. He does not have the top players ahead of him. He needs to be the leader in the dressing room. And right now, Raheem has been very disappointing. I will give Raheem one season. I will give him some time at Chelsea. But the problem with Raheem Sterling is he's 28 years of age. How much time can we give him as a fan? For me, I do want to give new signings time. I want to give them a year to settle at the club before we judge them. But Raheem Sterling, he's going to be 28 or 29 next year. That's getting more and more old. His legs will only wear out more and more as the age will go on. His energy will only go down as the age will go on. So in this signing, we cannot be patient. And so far, Raheem Sterling has been really disappointing for the price we paid for him. Very, very disappointing. And we are lucky today, including Sterling goal and also the Gibbs wide shot, which was saved by the crossbar. I think we were very lucky today. I really believe that goal was a lucky one. Like, it came off a Nottingham defender and Sterling was there to tap it in. Like, it never looked like Pudin by the Chelsea will score today. It never even looked like they will create a proper chance at the game. No game plan. Potter is in over his head right now. I do agree. For me right now, it doesn't look game plan. For me right now, it looks like a manager trying to please some of the players, and that's a big concern. I think Graham Potter will be better served, trusting the young guys, trusting his philosophy, and backing the players he does trust next season. But right now, Graham Potter is only trusting guys to keep his seniority in the dressing room, keeping Cesar happy, keeping Koulibaly happy, keeping a lot of other players happy, keeping Mount, Havertz, everyone other than that happy. I think Christian Pulisic again will be made a scapegoat. He has been given two chances to play and he has failed and he will again be thrown out. And then we'll see Conor Gallagher back again. So overall, it's not working. And Graham Potter needs to get strict with some of these players. This nice guy act needs to go away for me, or else this season is going to be a very, very long season for Chelsea Football Club. And do you think Vlahovic to United can work? I think he's going to be a very good player for United. He can work to United. He's a fantastic striker, can hold the ball well, and I will love to have him at Chelsea. I will love to have Vlahovic at Chelsea because he's a fantastic, fantastic player. I'm seeing Potter sacked in next summer. At least bring Thomas Frank from Brentford. But Putin by the thing is that again you'll go same back to another manager that needs time. I think for me, I won't sack Graham Potter. I really cannot see that happening, and I don't want that to happen. We are becoming a sack club too easily, Putin by. We keep sacking on managers, keep sacking on managers, and right now Chelsea have got players from three different managers: Thomas Tuchel, Frank Lampard, and then some players from Maurizio Sarri. I think it's time for Chelsea to back the manager. It's time for Chelsea to go on a process, and it's time for us to be a bit calm with the manager. My only concern is Graham Potter the right man for Chelsea? And that is my only concern. And I still don't think Thomas Frank will be good for Chelsea. I think a club like Chelsea needs a manager who can handle big egos, who can handle a big dressing room. And I think at the moment, Graham Potter is really struggling in that. And either we change the whole club, we change a lot of players in the summer, or I don't think he will be able to handle a lot of these players. And this the last game, everything mentality has to go away. He has to get more stricter and more really honest with his players. We are in a mess. I see City hitting us for six. I think the way we are playing right now, if we defend the way we did today, Haaland is having an absolute party. If Koulibaly starts and plays the way he did today, Haaland is going to rip our defense apart, and that is going to be a problem. The problem right now with Chelsea is I can see a score against Manchester City because Manchester City defensively are not a very good side, but I can see us concede 3 or 4 in that game. And if that has to change, the midfield has to perform better. And at the moment, Chelsea's midfield is easy to bypass by. Jorginho gets easily bypassed. Zakaria is too much forward and not aware of his defensive responsibility. And Mateo Kovacic is slowly coming back after helping Croatia reach semi-final. So it's Mateo Kovacic or bust right now for Chelsea midfield. Hey mate, no one is watching you. You can stop. Hey mate, no one is watching. You can stop broadcasting now, mate. Sorry, no problem, bro. I will broadcast. It's not your problem. I really hope you like it. And Manchester City will butcher us. We have seen angry Haaland in previous match. He'll score the hat trick. I think Erling Haaland is a fantastic player. I think we all know he gets in the right position. He gets in the right places to score the goals. So I really praise that. I really, really praise the way Haaland plays. But Manchester City right now with Erling Haaland are a very, very different team. We need to be very, very honest with them. I think they're a very different team, and Manchester City are just not as dominant as they used to be. And defensively, without Ruben Diaz, without their main players, they do tend to struggle for me, being very, very honest. And I think we can get at them. I think we can score some goals against Manchester City, but I do see us concede in the game, whether it's 2 goals, whether it's 3 goals, and I do think we're going to struggle in that department as well. Todd Bully might end up like Bertemo. No. I think that's too much a stretch. That is too much a stretch. I don't think he's going to end up like Bertemo. He's better. He's building up with young players. I do think we need to give him a bit more time there, to be really, really honest. And going on the next slide, top six finish right now looks very, very difficult for Chelsea. You got Newcastle United in 17 matches having 34 points. You got Manchester United in 16 matches having 32 points. You got Tottenham with 17 matches, 30 points. Then you got Liverpool at 16 matches, 28 points. You got Fulham here at 17 matches, 25 points. And you got Chelsea then at 8th. But we are only 1 point above Brighton. We're only 2 points right now above Brentford, 3 points above Palace, and 4 points above Aston Villa. And the game in hand we've got is against Liverpool, and that is going to be big, big trouble right now. We are really struggling to make top 4. We are 7 points behind, and a game in hand is against Liverpool. See, we have to be honest, this season is either winning the Champions League or forgetting Champions League for next season, because I cannot see us finishing in top 4 this season. Newcastle are one of the best defensive side in the league. Manchester United are developing well. You've got Manchester City, Arsenal, who are really, really good at the top. You've got Tottenham, who are only going to get better, even if they're playing bad right now. Harry Kane is going to score a lot of goals for them and going to get away from a lot of games. Heung-min Son will at some point come to form. Kulusevski is still a fantastic player who is having a bit of injury-prone season so far. And Liverpool, we all know Mohamed Salah is the player we know what he's capable of. David Nunes is still getting in the right positions. So I think there's more than enough, and Gakpo has been signed as well for Liverpool to really go on in the table. And Chelsea right now are struggling, and top four right now looks very, very difficult right now for us. We need to be honest, we need to be in the top six this season and use Champions League to target the qualification, because through Premier League, the qualification for Chelsea looks very, very difficult, to be honest. And we are really, really going to find it difficult to finish top for this season. And if we keep dropping points to teams like Nottingham Forest, with no disrespect here, then there's no chance for us to even anticipate a top four finish this season. Do you think signing Enzo Fernandez will be enough for us to win the UCL? I think, see, with the UCL, we need N'Golo Kante back, we need Reece James back, and we need the signing of Enzo. If we make these three things, then yes, we can win the Champions League. But again, a lot depends on the luck of the draw as well. And right now, our form right now till Champions League, we could be mentally so much drained, so much out of confidence that could change a lot of things. But I do agree with you. If you sign Enzo Fernandez, N'Golo Kante returns, and Reece James is back, then yes, Chelsea can win the Champions League. But the Premier League right now is not possible for us. Top four is absolutely out of our reach right now, and I'm being very, very honest. And we need to find a backup for these teams. Aspie was absolutely awful again. And I need to be honest with everyone here. I love Aspie. He's the captain of Chelsea. He's a player I've always admired, a player that all Chelsea fans, we all love to bits. But Aspie right now is not good enough for a club like Chelsea. He's just not good enough for Chelsea right now. And he struggles attackingly. Defensively today, he struggled to defend that corner. He could have done better. He should have understood Aurier was behind him. But Cesar Azpilicueta was again sleeping there. And attackingly, I can remember on top of my heads, there were two chances for Cesar to cross into the box. He was not even being pressurized, and he hit it on the first man. If Reece James is there, he puts it to Havertz, and Havertz makes it 2-1 Chelsea. And that is where we've missed without Reece James. And we should sign a proper backup, not just a simple backup. A backup that can play attackingly, a backup that can cross the ball into the box, and that can provide us some attacking threat. Because I love Aspie. Aspie is the captain of Chelsea, and I will always love him as a player. But Aspie, the Capitano right now, Chelsea, is not it at right back formation in 4-3-3. He hasn't got the pace to run. He hasn't got the attacking ability. Defensively, he's looking out of place. And I love Aspie to absolute bits. But I think we need to find a proper backup for Reece James, a player who can challenge him, attack the way he does, at least provide some crosses into the box in a high quality. Other than that, we are going to really struggle this season. As I said, Juranovic is available for 8 million. Why don't we go for it? I think he'll be better than Aspie. I think he'll be better, but is he going to be attackingly as much better? He will need time to adjust into the Premier League as well. I think I'll go for an option like, I know this will sound bad. I know people will get a bit stunned at that, but I'll go for a Kyle Walker-Peters from Southampton. He's attackingly very, very good. I think he can provide us a lot on the right side as well. I'll go for an option like that, who could be available for 17 million, 18 million, or else wait till the end of the summer, give you all in the Champions League, throw the league away, and in the summer we find a proper solution for it. Otherwise, just splashing the cash everywhere is not going to work anymore for us. We need to be more judicious when it comes to our spending. And Havertz was anonymous again. I love Havertz. He was building up positives. He's a player I always love, and I want him to do well at Chelsea. A player I think who has a good talent. He has the talent to be a world-class player, but he just does not ever utilize it because he's not consistent. And today, again, Havertz was anonymous. Again, he went missing. And I love Havertz, but today he was very, very disappointing. He was really, really disappointing today. And Chelsea player rating, now going on to player ratings out of 10 versus Nottingham Forest. And please, people watching, it doesn't take much. Do hit on the like button, subscribe button, and please participate in the comment section as well. So coming on to the goalkeeper, I think Kepa had a fine game today. He was very good with the distribution. His commanding of the box was very, very good. And I think he deserves a 7 in this game. He had a very, very good game today. And I think the way he came out of the box, the way he commanded it, I think Kepa was very, very good today. And one of the bright spots for Chelsea today, and one of the bright spots this season so far. And you can say Kepa has been the bright spot under Graham Potter. Other than that, it's been really, really depressing season for Chelsea so far. And coming on to Cesar Azpilicueta at the right back, and very disappointing. And horror show, defensively a horror show. He was so easily bypassed by, on the corner kick, he made a mistake for the goal. And attackingly, it's better. I don't see anything. I love Aspie, but attackingly, he was absolutely out of it today. And it never looked like Chelsea were going to get better. I love Aspie, but Aspie today was absolutely horrific and shocking today. And I think giving him a 4 is being very, very kind to him today as well. And yes, Kyle Walker-Peters is a gem. Even Thomas Tuchel tried to sign him. Yeah, we were after him as well at that time in the summer for around 18 million for me. And Koulibaly, another very disappointing from Koulibaly. I think he was absolutely handled by Evinoi. He was very, very disappointing today. For a player that's one of the most experienced players in the world, for a player that's really respected around the world, and for a player that is really experienced, Koulibaly again was absolutely awful today. He was manhandled by Evinoi. He was easily bypassed on the ball. Some very, very rash passes, some rash decision making. And I love Koulibaly, and I'm still giving him a lot of time and patience. I still will give him a lot of time before he comes at his best, and I will give him 2 more months before I start properly criticizing him or going at him. Right now, I want to be calm. He's adjusting to a new country and he's adjusting to a new squad. But Koulibaly so far at Chelsea has been an absolute disaster, and he needs to improve upon, or Chelsea will have to find a solution in the summer as well. Because till now, Koulibaly has not even lived up to the hype that we know he's capable of, and he's been very, very disappointing so far. Juranovic at Chelsea will be good. I do agree for the price as well, but I will love more attacking option. It's going to be up and down season. I fully agree, Bhargav. And first of all, big up to him as well. Arsenal fan and Arsenal having a great time. So big up to you, mate. And Arsenal are having a great season. But for Chelsea so far, I think it's going to be a very up and down season for us. I'm waiting for the Champions League because that's a competition we do well. Premier League so far has been really bad for us this season. But I think we need to be more calm. We need to be more patient, and Graham Potter must be judged next season. We need to give him time this around this 6 months. But Graham Potter, for me, I will again say, needs to be more authoritative and needs to be more clear with his lineups, or else these players will eat him up like they did with Tuchel, like they did with Frank, like they did with Maurizio Sarri. These players need to be taught a lesson, and that is they need to understand what the manager wants, and the mentality in the team has to be better. Going on towards the next player today, and that is Thiago Silva. And again, he was calm and fine. But again, Thiago Silva at some points was caught napping. I think overall, Thiago Silva is the best player for us this season. He's still the biggest positive for Chelsea. He's still a player who gives everything on the pitch and leaves his body on the line. But overall, today, I think Thiago Silva had a fine display. Not had his best, not the Silva we know, but overall handled things that were at him. And overall, a fine display from a player that again and again defies age, and again had a good performance today. And whenever Chelsea were in trouble, he was there. But I still think Thiago could do better than what he did today. And coming on to Marco Cucurella, I think he deserves a 6 as well. Attackingly, I think Cucurella tried a lot, but he had no understanding with Christian Pulisic. And this is what happens when you keep on changing the squad and squad and squad. This is the first time Graham Potter, for me, has played the same squad in 2 consecutive matches. And that is the way Graham must go. You need to allow players to play 5 or 6 games together to have a better understanding, to have a better chemistry, to have a better morale. And Cucurella today played with Pulisic, who he has very less understanding with, and that affected Chelsea's attacking down the left side. But overall, I think he was fine. He was not really bad. And I still think Cucurella will do better as the season progresses. And he will turn out to be a good signing for Chelsea, in my humble opinion. And we can't blame Thiago Silva. Still at this age, he's the best and also the player of the season so far. Fully agreed for me, Putin. But I'm not blaming him. And I do think he's still the best player for us this season. And he's one of the best players so far right now in the team, along with Reece James, the way Kepa is playing, and N'Golo Kante. These are our most important players right now, the way we are going at the moment. And coming to Jorginho, I think Jorginho deserves a 6 because he literally did nothing in the game in terms of creatively and defensively. Again, he was caught in some positions, but I do think he also intercepted well whenever needed. And that was a typical Jorginho performance. Creatively, he made some passes, but again, there was no killing pass, no final killer pass. And again, defensively, he was fine, but whenever there was a physical player, he was always got by. And that is we know about Jorginho, so we cannot be really angry on that. And we need to understand that that's just characteristic of Jorginho, and he needs to partner up with a proper physical defender. He had a very good understanding with N'Golo Kante. He needs a player that can cover the ground for him, be the energetic presence. And Jorginho really struggles without that presence. And again, today was the case. Zakaria was so much up the attacking side that Jorginho was left isolated. And this is where the teams really come at him and really target Jorginho as Chelsea's weak spot. Coming on to the next one, that is Dennis Zakaria. And I think Zakaria was fine. I think for me, Zakaria was attacking a lot. He was not really fulfilling some of the defensive responsibility. This is why I give him a 6. But overall, I think Zakaria has been a positive in the last 2 games. And I still think that this player can be good for us as the season progresses and can do a bit of job for us. But overall, I think it was a fine display for Zakaria. Not really bad, but not really great. He was too much attacking and had left a lot of space for Jorginho to be covering, and that was always going to be bound to be a problem. Zakaria and Mount were too attacking, and that really left Chelsea covering a lot of spaces behind, and it allowed Nottingham Forest to counter, Morgan Gibbs White to have a field day. So that was a bit disappointing in my humble opinion as well. Going on to the next player, that is Mason Mount. And again, Mason Mount was fine, but again, he was a bit anomalous in the second half as well. And Mason is still one of the best players. Mason still gives a lot on the pitch, but today he was very, very disappointing. And Mason had a very good game against Bournemouth, but he needs to build upon that. It was another anonymous performance from Mason after a good performance, and that is a bit disappointing. Mason this season has not been a lot of presence in goal and assist, and this is what's happening with him this season. He plays one very good game, then has an anonymous game, then a good game, then an anonymous game, then an anonymous game, then a good game. And Mason needs to do better. I love him to bits. He's a fantastic player. But today, Mason was anonymous and did not provide a lot after the first 25-30 minutes. So that was a massive disappointment today. Coming on towards Pulisic, and Pulisic for me was very, very disappointing today. I still think he's a player who needs more game time, who needs more backing. He has only been given two proper matches in a row, and we suddenly want him to score goals, assist goals, be a part of team moves, and that was never going to work. Like Christian Pulisic is easily judged on one performance. I won't be surprised he's dropped for the Manchester City game, but overall, you cannot ask a player to play wonders and only play him like 2 times a season, 3 times a season. And Graham Potter so far has not given Pulisic a run of games, so he needs to give him a bit of time, a bit of patience, and a bit of hand on the back and a pat on the shoulder and say, I'm with you. Pulisic is a fantastic player, a good guy, a young guy, and Pulisic will develop as the season goes by, but you cannot judge a player when he's only been given 2 games in a row this whole season, and that is where the problem lies. So I still have a lot of patience for Pulisic because this is his second game in a row, and overall, he hasn't been involved this season, so you cannot put much blame on him. Going on to Sterling, and Sterling was again, he got a good goal today, was aware about the surrounding, he was aware that the ball was going to come to him. So I will give him 6 because he scored a goal. But Raheem Sterling was again anonymous today, and Raheem Sterling overall has to do better, the player we know he is. We paid £50 million for him, for a player that was a responsible leader, had a big Premier League with City, and a very, very good player. And Raheem Sterling needs to improve upon. I'm being very, very honest. I love him. I'm going to give him all the time in the world. But Raheem Sterling is around 28 years of age. So how much time can we Chelsea fans give him? He's getting older and older and older. The player's age of Raheem Sterling will only wear out. The body will wear out as the age goes on. So that is my massive concern. And I do hope Raheem Sterling comes good at Chelsea. But some questions need to be asked because at the moment, he's having a very, very disappointing so far. Please, people watching, it doesn't take much. Do hit on the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Please, people, do it. And do drop in your player ratings in the comment section below. And coming on to Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz was again anonymous today. I love Kai Havertz. He's a good player. He still has a potential, world-class potential, but he's not living up at Chelsea. And today, again, Kai, I cannot blame him a lot because the service to him was anonymous. Cesar Azpilicueta was not providing anything. Cucurella was not having a good partnership with Pulisic. So there was not a lot coming Havertz's way. But overall, being very, very honest person here, Havertz still has to do better. And sometimes he goes too deep, and sometimes he's so much ahead. I still think Havertz can do better. I still think at some point Havertz get a bit more, you can say, cute, playing more tricky passes when he can be a bit more ruthless and try hitting a shot. So overall, I think he deserves a 6. Not a bad display, but not an amazing display in any shape of amount. And going on to Matej Kovacic, the substitutes now. And I think Matej Kovacic did a fine display, did not have much time. He could have been brought earlier, but he looked a bit sloppy today as well, which can happen because he's playing for Chelsea after some time and just came off for the World Cup, did not have proper trainings as well. So Matej Kovacic was a bit rusty today, and therefore he has to be given a 6 today. Going on, Conor Gallagher, and that was one of the worst substitute appearances I've seen for Chelsea this season. I love Conor. He's a very good player, but today Conor was absolutely horrific. Like, I literally have no words to describe Conor Gallagher today. He was very, very bad today. Conor was never in the right position. He was never in the right places. When he got the ball, he lost it. Then made poor tackles and got a yellow card for himself as well. And whenever Chelsea were building a move, Conor came on in the substitute and destroyed it. So I love him, but today Conor was an absolute disaster. And if I'm giving his substitute appearance a 4, it only shows how bad today he was. Going on to the next one, that is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And Aubameyang was a six today as well. I think he could have done better with the Ziyech cross. You expect a player like Aubameyang to make that run earlier, but other than that, he had not much time. And I still think we need to involve Aubameyang more. He still has a proper striker instinct, and we need goals in this team. We are lacking goals. Havertz is not a regular goal scorer. Mount is not a natural goal scorer. Sterling is a player that really, you can say, is a very clinical player. He's rarely a clinical player. And then Pulisic is also, in terms of goals, is a very iffy player as well. He will have a good day and a bad day. And Obama needs to be involved more. And today, again, he came on. He tried a bit things, but was making too many cute passes when he could have really took the ball on his feet and hit a shot. So I'm very disappointed in that aspect. But overall, he could not do much in a 15-minute cameo. And taking a comment here, and Connor needs to go on loan. I do agree, but I think now he won't go on loan. Either we have to get him out permanently or we have to keep him. And I will keep him. For me, he's a good player, talented young guy, and I still back Conor Gallagher. But Conor Gallagher must perform better and must take the chances he gets at Chelsea, because a lot of players never get a chance to play for the club. And when you get the chance, you have to make the most of it as well. But as fans, we also need to give players some time and patience before they turn out to be amazing. So we have to be a bit more calm with them as well. And coming on to Hakim Ziyech, I think Hakim Ziyech was 7. He came on, he made some differences on the pitch. He was good today for me, in my humble opinion. And I think Hakim Ziyech overall needs to be involved more. He's coming after a fantastic World Cup, so he's very confident. He's a magician overall. When he plays at his best, he has a magic in his feet. And Hakim Ziyech is still the best cricketer in this team, bar you can say Reece James, and only player capable in the Chelsea team of putting a cross into the box or taking a shot from the long and curling it in like Hakim Ziyech. So Hakim Ziyech needs to be played more, and Hakim Ziyech needs to be involved more, and therefore Hakim Ziyech has to play more. And I think Hakim Ziyech can do a better job in terms of creating chances for Chelsea than Raheem Sterling. And I think I will love to see a Ziyech, Pulisic, Aubameyang front three rather than seeing Sterling right now. Sterling has been very disappointing, and I think Hakim Ziyech can do a better job right now than Raheem Sterling. Coming on to Chukwuemeka, he had very less time. He only came on for the last 4 minutes, so he has to be given a 5. There's no little time to judge him, and I hope this guy gets more chance. He gets to play in the FA Cup. He's still a good player, and I think overall he could become something better for Chelsea in the future as well. And people watching, please do guys subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. It will mean a lot to me as well. Please do it, people, and please support the channel. I love you all and respect you all as well. Please do it, people. And coming on to Graham Potter, the manager today. And for me, the manager deserves a 5 today. He was disappointing today, but not fully disappointing. Like, this is the best crop of players he could have chosen. Not having Reece James, not having N'Golo Kante. The squad is at the moment stretched and not at his best. So we need to be a bit more calm with Graham Potter and need to give him a bit more time. So I think we need to be a bit more calm with him as well. And we do need to give him a bit of patience and a bit of time to develop. So I think it will be too early to judge a manager when he's only had like 6 months at the club. I think Graham Potter needs to be given more time. I've seen his Brighton teams play some fantastic football, like some of the best football in the world. So we need to be calm with them as well. Talksport says we should have sold Aspilicueta when we had the chance. I do agree as well, but Thomas Tuchel had a bit of point as well that Chelsea had no leadership and he had to be kept as well. So I can understand that as well. Chelsea had a new owner coming in. We were making so many transfers. But I think Cesar Aspilicueta should never be a starter for Chelsea, and he should never be a proper backup to Reece James. He's a player who can play a bit in the 3-4-3 formation at the right centre back, but he cannot play as a wing back for Chelsea in 2023, or else we're going to have a very, very tough season. And on Graham Potter, I've seen his Brighton sides play some best football in the league, and I do want to give him time. He's a very, very good manager, and I think we need to be more patient with him. We cannot keep asking results after every 6 months. We cannot keep going on sacking managers. Otherwise, the club will never go on the right way. So I think it's time for us to back Graham Potter. But my only problem with Graham Potter is he's not proactive. He doesn't make the changes at the right time. He always lets the game flow, and he's so much calm on the touchline. Sometimes you need a manager to really instruct you. Come on, guys, get a goal. You can do it. And Graham Potter is more of a guy. Guys, you give everything, lads. I'm proud of you. Well done. And a club like Chelsea, you need a bit of manager that can roll a bit of these players on their at the back and give them some rollicking when they need. Mikel Arteta, whenever Arsenal don't play well, he gives Arsenal players a bit of rollicking and they respond. Graham seems like a very, very nice man, and I think these players need a bit of strictness, and I think Graham needs to do much better in that regard as well. And overall, Right now, the way we have played in this game, the way this game has gone, my final assessment on this game and overall my thoughts on Chelsea before we go on to the Manchester City game and end this video. See, we come out of it on a good momentum. We beat Bournemouth. It was a very, very needed victory. We won 2-0. We came after the break. We all were thinking that Chelsea are building in the right way. We are a positive side. We are doing well. This break has helped us. We have Nottingham Forest coming up next. Everybody knew Tottenham drop points, Newcastle drop points. You had the chance to catch them up. The players would have known that in the dressing room as well. They would have seen the Premier League table. There should have been motivation in these guys to do better. There should have been motivation in these guys to use this Nottingham match. You have to win it. We have to win it. We need to close the gap on Tottenham. And we came with a mentality with no effort on the pitch. We came on again on an away ground. We did not give our best. We got an early goal. We went defensive. The players again in their mentality went for a 1-0 victory. They never went for the second goal. Intensity dropped. And again, a set piece. They were sleeping. And again, a goal from a set piece. And it's becoming a same old Chelsea. And with Manchester City coming up next, top four looking in a massive, massive danger right now. We are 7 points behind Manchester United, and their game in hand is against Leeds. Chelsea's game in hand against Liverpool, and we have Manchester City coming up next week, and then we have got Manchester City coming up again. FA Cup is looking a bit of peak here. Manchester City have dropped points to Everton and they're struggling in the league, so they will bring the anger out against us as well. And it's become peak for Chelsea. I still will never doubt Chelsea. Blue is the color, and still London is blue. And I still trust this team, and I still know we can do a very, very good job. And in big games, I do trust Chelsea, but these players are making me lose me mentally, and these players are making me lose trust in my club, and I will never let that happen. Chelsea FC, we always stand up on the big occasion, and I hope that's the case against Manchester City. For me, I will be very honest, I don't care about the loss. I don't give a damn we lose at game 3-1, 2-1, 4-2, 3-1, 0-1. I just want to see an effort. I just want to see a good performance. I want to see the manager being more proactive. I want to see manager being a bit more aggressive. I want to see the players getting a bit more on the pitch. And I want to see tactically him having a good battle against Guardiola. And if then you lose, fair enough, it happens. Guardiola is one of the best managers in the world. If you lose it, it happens. But if I see the same Chelsea again, we go against Manchester City, we come out with a bad mentality, we lose that game 3-0, and then the manager comes and says, the lads gave everything, then I'm going to lose it, and that cannot continue Chelsea. Graham Potter is still a person. I really want to give him time. I really want to give him development. And I don't give a damn Chelsea finish 8th in the league. I don't care if we finish 7th in the league if we can develop next season. Enzo could be coming up at Chelsea. Rafael Leao is coming up at Chelsea. Christopher Nkunku is coming up at Chelsea. The times are very, very good. But when your manager has a mentality, the lads gave everything, that will transmit towards the players, and the players will start thinking that yes, draw is a good result. When your manager says the lads gave everything, the players will start thinking the same, and then mentally they'll start performing the same. Only this new year I want to see from Graham Potter that he goes after this draw, gives players a bit of plucking their backs, and gets a reaction against Manchester City. Lose, win or draw, I'll always support Chelsea, and still London is blue, and I love this club, and I'll die supporting this club. But only thing I want to see, which I saw from the previous players, which I see from these players in the Champions League matches, Cup matches, is they play with full desire, is they play with full passion. Go there, play with desire, play with passion. The manager is aggressive, he's proactive, he plays the players he wants, he gives them time to develop, and he plays the team he wants. And then what happens, that happens. I want us to use this season as a building block towards something better. And Kuku, Leao, you have Enzo Fernandez coming up next season. Chelsea is going to be a very different team next season. But the only thing I'm worried about is Graham Potter the right man or not? And I want to see it in the next 6 months. I really hope he's the right man, because I'm sick and tired of this sack culture at this club. And yesterday, we want to see at least see good football. And why is Chelsea not trying to sign a top right back? I think we are, but at the moment the problem is I think Juranovic, I don't think he's as good as people believe. And other than that, I think Chelsea, I don't know why, I think we might be looking even at Livramento in the summer, but he's right now has an injury. And I think Chelsea right now are waiting for the summer to analyze the players, to scout the players worldwide, and then see the right player they want to get, and then they pay the money for that as well. Potter is not showing us that he can do the job. Unai Emery, Aston Villa is a top manager. I fully agree with you, and that is why I cannot compare him to Unai Emery. Unai Emery has managed at the biggest stages. He has won 3 Europa Leagues. He has got Villarreal to a Champions League semi-final. We cannot compare Unai Emery to Graham Potter. And Manchester City will mold Chelsea on Thursday. I don't see what or where Chelsea will get any sort of inspiration from. One thing, Aspilicueta should not play against Manchester City. Fully agreed. If he plays against Manchester City, we are getting toasted. We are getting fully toasted if Aspilicueta plays in that game. But I will say one thing just before I end this video. I will say one thing is, see, for me, I still think we'll lose to Manchester City. But what I want to see is a fight. What I want to see is tactically. I still think a proper manager in these big games will get players up for this game, will tactically prepare themselves up for Manchester City. And I still think that this squad is capable enough on big day against Manchester City to play on the counter, to soak up the pressure and trouble Manchester City. John Stones and Imec Laporte are very gettable. João Cancelo defensively is very, very gettable. And Manchester City so far, because of Erling Haaland and how many goals he's scoring, they're not playing in the same manner. It's about putting the ball into the box for Haaland, which sometimes does not allow them to play the tiki-taka football, and that can help us. They're also coming after a disappointing draw. They're going to be aggressive from the start. Chelsea need to handle that pressure, stay in that game, and take the moment when it comes. For me, win, lose, or draw, I'll always support Chelsea, but the manager needs to do better. And Graham Potter, he's a manager for a future building of a club. He's a manager who is brought in to inculcate young players into the Chelsea system and make us more like Arsenal, make us more like a team that plays in a more younger player and develops and then goes on to win some Premier Leagues and Champions League. But only thing I will say is nobody knows will Graham Potter reach that height. It's very different managing Brighton. It's very different managing Chelsea. On a final note, I hope Graham Potter turns very good to Chelsea. I'm tired of the sacking culture and I'll back the manager till he's here. But Graham Potter needs to do better because it's Chelsea FC and being this large game, everything cannot work. And I love you, manager, but you need to do better. And people, please watch. Thank you so much, people, for supporting. And I'm so disappointed today, bro. After the win against Bournemouth, I thought we had a momentum. Now we are back to square one. Top four is getting away from Chelsea gradually. I fully agree. I think top four is out of our reach. I think we have to win the Champions League, or else we are playing Europa Conference League next season. So I've already made amends with that. We're not going to play Champions League football next season. And I'm also very disappointed today. But if this means that Chelsea is going to become a better club in the future, we're going to become a much more calmer club in the future, we're going to build in a nice way, then I'm all for it. But my only concern is Mikel Arteta at the start of his Arsenal tenure showed that aggression, showed he can deal with the senior players. I just want to see that. I just want to see that from Graham Potter, and I know he's the right man. And at the moment, he's too much possessive, and he's right now too much nice, and that cannot work at Chelsea. But I do hope he turns around and he works at Chelsea. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat who has supported today. Thank you so much. If anyone thought I would stop the stream in between, I won't. Whether 0 people come to watch me, whether 10 people come to watch me, whether 100, whether 0, I'll keep doing what I love. I'll keep doing the videos I love. And whoever came in to support me today, I love you all. Thank you so much, everyone. And it doesn't take much. Please support the channel. Please like the video. Happy New Year to all. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much. Potter is soft. I fully agree. And I hope he changes. And that is my only concern with Graham Potter. Happy New Year all. Love you all. Respect you all. Thank you so much and hope you have a great day.